welcome everybody for joining us today, especially from to our friends abroad. Thank you, Karl, David, and Benjamin, being today and discuss about the walnut industry, the Chilean walnut industry. Let's go for the first questions. David, how do you think the COVID is affecting and will affect the industry?
Well, there is no doubt that this pandemic brought a lot of changes to our everyday life. And it's clear that many of these newly adapted behaviors won't disappear overnight. So I believe that today it's more urgent than ever for the whole society to rethink the future of the food industry. We have seen that the global consumers' consumption are changing today, and that will force us to adapt our way to do businesses. So I see two main changes in the meantime. One is the food safety. I mean, food safety has been very important always, but today with the consumers are becoming more health conscious, and they're really concerned about the fresh, additive-free products. And so the whole industry has to adapt in order to be able to fulfill these new requirements. So the success of the food industry will remain on those who will be able to make it work. I mean, the safety practices will define the success of many companies. And the second aspect, in my opinion, is the e-commerce. E-commerce is a trend that is here to stay, and that also will demand for the whole supply chain to adapt to this fast-growing segment. And that will bring a big change for all of us. Of course, what will happen with the consumption of walnuts and food in general will depend on the economic situation of our destiny countries. Today, many countries are still struggling, trying to contain the spread of the virus, but also fighting to keep their economy alive. So we will see what happens. I can answer regarding what will be the economy situation, but for sure we need to do something about food safety and e-commerce.
Okay, great. Well, it was a big challenge. I think the walnut industry, the first walnut industry affected by the COVID, well, the Chilean one. When we started our last harvest, we faced the pandemic quite soon, okay, and we were able to manage the problem, okay, and of course the market is the other aspect that was of course not in our control, and well, as far as now we see that has been a rough season, but at the end of the day it was we managed to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning was very challenging, too many doubts, but we did it. I mean, we make it works, and now we are used to run our factories under these new demands in terms of hygienic aspect and safety.
Okay.
But the question is, what will happen when the COVID ending? Nobody knows. Probably the market could be running in the same way that in the past, or changing, as David said.
Yes, and another aspect that is, of course, the different countries, depending on the way they consume, they distribute their production, is affected in different ways. Okay, we see Europe. Let's say, I don't know if the word is quite strong, but things the supermarkets, the big share of the consumers buy in the supermarkets is rather strong than other countries. We see that, and we will see in a few moments some slides about how it changed the consume on different countries.
But Edmundo, there is no doubt that this COVID give the consumer the opportunity to really handle this product in an easy way. we have seen demand incredible in Europe, especially where consumer found in dry food, and water was not the exception, a high demand for people that want healthy product, easy to handle, and to eat easily. When you have this pandemic, we really need product that is safe for the producer, easy to eat, and healthy. And I think walnut really represent that product, and that's the success we have had in Europe this year is mainly due to that.
Okay. Well, Benjamin, today we see that the prices are at the lowest level since 2008, probably, since the crisis. Do you think is there any room for the prices continue falling in the future?
It's difficult to predict what will happen with the prices in the future, but of course we are in the commodity area, and of course it depends on the offer and demand. If the offers increase, as you can see in this year, in this season, of course the prices drop. But if the offer decrease, the prices could be increased, of course, and the prices that we are seeing today, they are very low prices, and they are extremely low in compared with the past years, and of course it's not good for the industry. We need to maintain an industry healthy and alive, and if you look those prices today, the growers are practically losing money. Today the cost, or today with the prices that we are seeing in California, the growers could receive about $1.50 per kilo at the end, and the cost is about $1.80. Probably they are losing about 30 cents per kilo. And with this rate, it's impossible that you can maintain a good industry. That's why we need to do something about. And of course, market is market, but it's difficult time today. And we believe that those prices that we are seeing are because have many volume. In this season in 2020 for the new crop in California, and probably a big gap in Chile and with the new harvest. Today, with this season, we can have about 100,000 tons more in the market in compared with last year. But in the future, this volume could be less, about 30,000 tons if you plus Chile and California. Therefore, in the future, could not continue decreasing the prices. But today, it's a big challenge for us.
Yes. Well, we saw in some figures that over there, in fact, the California is coming from let's say in 2019 from a small crop, not small, as a low crop is one of the lowest yield ever on the last 5 years. Okay, of course now it's the opposite. Chile roughly can be the same. We're waiting to see what is happening. But of course, as you said, the supply this season is probably by far larger than the speed of the demand. Okay, but we don't have to forget that demand is growing. It's incredible how it growth in the past. I don't know, Karl, David, what do you think? Because we see the short term, and when we look at the time, okay, demand is still growing.
Yeah, but this fade between supply and demand, as Benjamin was saying, is typical of an agricultural business with a 5-6 year cycle. I mean, it's not something that you plant today and you harvest 3 months from now. It's when you decide to go into walnut or any dry fruit, you have years ahead. So this fade between demand and supply is normally happen on a cycle basis. And this year probably we're seeing this fade between demand and supply, and we see this reduction in prices. But also you have to consider that with this lower price, a lot of new consumers will come in. And even existing consumers will eat probably twice as much as they eat. So when you keep up the demand and the supply come together with demand in next season, the following season, you obviously will see an increase in prices. because as Benjamin said, these prices are not sustainable. And this is just the invisible hands of Alan Smith at work.
Yes.
And you don't have to forget that the walnut demand is very elastic in terms of, I mean, it's very price sensitive. We have seen when the prices drop, the demand increase immediately. But what happened this year, and we can make a forecast with the last 6 months because we are affected by the COVID. So the economic situation, it's really bad, and people is more concerned about other things than to be eating walnuts or any nuts. So this is not the right time to make a prediction. We need to wait and to see how these countries adapt to the new situation. But I'm pretty confident that once people get back confidence, the consumption will increase again because this price level.
Okay. Well, taking from that point, Karl, given the current situation of the prices, do you see that the planting rhythm that we saw in the last years will be maintained? How do you think that? Because Chile planted close to 4,000 hectares some years.
You're right. The plantation in Chile in walnut in the last 10 years has multiplied by 10 times. I mean, by 3 times in 10 years. We have gone from 16,000 10 years ago to 45,000 hectares this year. Obviously, that growth 3 times in 10 years is significant. And walnut has become today the second fruit in Chile after grapes. So that really shows the relevance of the walnuts in Chile. That rhythm of plantation, over 3,000 during many years, has significantly slowed down today. Today we're seeing the hectares being planted less than 2,000, in the range of 2,000, which is probably between 4 or 5% of the stock existing. Even though most of that is a replacement of all orchards or new plantation, but there's not a significant growth coming in. So we see that also farmers and investors are looking this sector as a global. You don't only see walnut, you see also other alternative for agricultural destination. And we don't even have to consider the stars like cherries today, which are making over $30,000 per hectare, with a lot of weakness, you can say, in terms of labor intensive. But also you see that the profitability of walnut has significantly diminished. And today, if you see hazelnuts or other products are more profitable than walnuts. So people are really thinking whether to put more walnut or diversify into other species, other fruits, or reduce their significance. So I'm quite confident that what we have today in our industry is the plateau, and that will give us some production above 200,000 metric tons in the coming years, and we'll be in that plateau for several years. So that can also give us a good floor for preparing our marketing and sales of that product worldwide. So I would be quite confident that we have to handle that situation, but we don't see a significant growth at least in the next 5 years.
Oh, yes, it's probably, yes, you are right. We will think also about the specific situation of prices we see today in walnut, but in fact, as you said, Chile has been growing in the southern area a lot. Mm-hmm. And of course, hazelnuts, cherries is a big alternative, let's say, for the growers that people wanted to plant or invest. Is a reality, and well, it's not bad to have this slow down to see how it's going. Okay, so David.
But also for me the challenge as a part of the industry is not to be producing more volume every year. It's trying to produce a better product. So instead to try to push our orchards to produce, let's say, 8 or 9 tons per hectare, I should promote to produce better product. Better product on walnuts means better size, better color, better crack-out yield. So the focus from now on should be quality more than volume.
Yes.
Yes, and this is we are in a long-term cycle, because nobody can take out the trees immediately and change for another type of fruit. That's why we need, as David said, we need to focus in quality and good quality and volume as well, because if not, it's difficult to survive with the reality, with the today reality.
Well, yeah, and do you think that also there will be people starting to pulling out old orchards, low yield, let's say orchards, either in Chile or California or different producing countries? It also could be an effect on what we see on these prices. Well,
Absolutely. I mean, in the marginal areas, of course.
yeah, yes, we saw some very old orchards. Benjamin, probably, what impact do you think we will see with the increase of Chinese exports in the coming years, this year?
Well, China is important today in the production market and in the export market. China today is exporting about 80,000 tons last year, 2019. And of course, it's a situation, or it's a country that we need to see what is happening. The first impact is if they are taking piece of the market that California and Chile used to sell in the market, and of course they cause some damage to us. But unfortunately, in the case of Chile, as we are in the counter season, we are not in the same market. We can still maintain some volume in the market that normally or that China is selling today, as Turkey, as Russia, for example, or as Pakistan, or India, or United Arab Emirates, and but of course it's a challenge for us. We need to know what is happening. We need to know how is the volume or which is the volume that they are increasing year by year, and of course, if they cannot consume their volume, they start to export more and more every year. We need to see what is happening, and we need to see if they continue to increase their volume every year.
Yes, well, the first news we have from new crop from China is probably the volumes will be roughly the same last year. Well, we have to see what is really going on. Okay, it's a wide area production in China, so wait and see. Probably by January we will know what is the real volumes of this season, in fact. And we may see that as an opportunity for Chile. We saw the volumes increasing year by year. It's not large volumes, but they're increasing for us. And well, we probably will work on that. David, Chile is harvesting March and April, okay, and it begins to reach the market of the northern hemisphere roughly by May. What advantage do you see in the arrival time of Chilean walnuts into the markets?
Well, of course that everyone appreciate a really fresh new crop product, but being honest, at the beginning of each season, I have seen more enthusiasm and excitement for new crop product from in-shell buyers than from kernel buyers. That is true. But also, I feel that slowly the kernels buyers are realizing that it's very important to have a fresher product. In terms of, they are realizing that consumers are demanding a better taste product. And on walnuts, better taste means no rancidity. And no rancidity means you can achieve no rancidity only with a really fresh product. So most of our customers worldwide are realizing that what makes more sense for them is to buy 6 months from North Hemisphere and 6 months from South Hemisphere in order to be able to offer a fresh product all the time. But this must be a company with a very strong logistic management system, because if you are always trying to move first your old inventory, you will be delivering a regular quality product to your customers all the time. So you have to switch your mind in terms to really commit all your efforts in order to supply this fresh product. Also, Chile has an advantage in terms of timing because we are able to supply an important amount of volume for special seasonal festivities in India. For example, the Diwali. Diwali, it's a very important festivity in India, and is when we have seen the highest walnut consumption. So we are able to supply that demand with a big volume and on the quality that are expecting. But also, we have a chance and an opportunity for Christmas campaign in Europe. Because, okay, Christmas campaign start maybe middle of December, but the pipeline has to be filled up much earlier. You need to get the product in Europe, you need to do the retail packaging, you need to fill all this pipeline on the distribution channels. So also there is an opportunity for our consumers using Chilean product for the Christmas campaign. So, I mean, I think the timing is really good.
Yeah, and there's one thing you said about freshness is a key point, but also this also I think is a risk management. I still remember a few years ago that when there was a big strike on ports in the United States. Of course, I think the balance is always good in these terms. Okay, to be able to have your supplying system spread if you can. Now there is a chance. In the past, Chile was a small producer, not anymore, with enough volume to fulfill the needs of any buyers. So do you think that is also a good point on that, Karl?
Not only that, Edmundo, also as Chile become a reliable supplier for main consumer worldwide, the buyer also see that they have this opportunity to first handle better stock. They can buy twice a year, not only once a year. They can have stock for a couple of months, not for all year round. They can smooth the fluctuation of prices by moving during the year in a buying pattern. So I see that there is only benefit for the global buyers to start considering or keep considering, increase the consideration of Chile as a serious supplier from the South Hemisphere to be a good complement for Northern Hemisphere supply like California. So this is something that the industry is working, has a lot of challenges to do on that matter, but I think the door is open and we have done an excellent job in the last years, and if we continue that pattern, I'm sure in the next couple of years, Chile will become a serious and permanent supplier on a worldwide scale because there is only benefit for all of us.
Okay. Benjamin, how do you think the fact that Chile no longer arrives with the harvest for Ramadan will affect that?
Yeah, Ramadan is not the only market that Chile has, of course. And if you look like the last season, we export Ramadan first is the market that normally use initial product. And last year we had a record in terms of initial sales. We sold 73,000 tons, and we practically not arrived in the good time to Ramadan. That's why I said it's not only the market that we use, but if you look in a positive view. Today, the Ramadan market is taken by California or by the North Hemisphere. If this market can sell a huge volume to the Ramadan, when we start for the next crop, we can have a market with a not full of initial walnut or stock. That's why could be positive for us. And of course, if you look in a negative way, we need to recover that volume and push for sell into the other market. For example, India in this case, or another initial market, or Europe, as David said. That's it.
Yes, I think sellers and buyers need to realize that this will move. In fact, it will not decrease. It's a change of pattern of who's selling, who's buying. Okay, and as soon as the market realizes that, the smoother will be the transition to this let's say new situation on the Ramadan. Okay, that is the point. And I think at the last, what it counts is how is the demand is growing. As long as the demand is growing, I think it will be okay. We buy at this time, and now I'm buying at this time. I think that is the key point.
The matter is we must to share the volume in between all the market. Today is for the northern hemisphere, and in the past was for the southern hemisphere.
But also we have seen a reduction on the imports from Turkey. So some people believe that this is because the Ramadan, but it's not. I mean, there are other factors that are affecting the purchase power of the Turkish buyers. I mean, they are buying also from China, as we discussed. Also, Turkey used to be a distribution hub in the Middle East, was one of the main entrants to the Middle East market. And today, many of these end consumers are buying directly from us. So we can blame this Ramadan timing to the reduction on the Turkish imports. There are other factors too.
Yes.
But also, looking from another perspective, I see that the Ramadan, which was a critical issue for us in the past, because Inchel was our main product 10 years ago. Today, I see in the next coming years, the growth will come from crack nuts, from kernels. Whereas then Ramadan will be not as significant as it is today, because most of the growth in the Chilean industry will come from kernels, because the demand is growing mainly on that market. Even though we have special market like India, which is demanding high quality inshore product, but generally the main growth of the Chilean industry will come from kernels, and that's where the industry has to be prepared for that.
Yes, you're quite right. And Karl, continue with you. Given the percentages increase on the production in Chile and what is expected for the coming years, how do you see the investment on Chilean industry on processing capacity?
The industry has made significant investment in the last years in machine cracking. As you know, hand cracking in Chile is becoming very, very expensive because of high labor cost. And most of the Chilean hand cracking is moved abroad. But machine cracking on the other side has become very strong processing. Today, almost half of Chilean production, like 50,000, is machine cracking today. And to be able to produce that volume, the industry has invested significantly in the last year. Today in Chile, we have capacity of 115,000 pounds per hour equipment, state-of-the-art running in Chile. That could give us in the range of 100,000 metric ton of Inchel equivalent to be processed as in machine crack. And we are only doing half of that today. So if we look forward, and the industry will grow another 100,000 metric ton in the coming years, we have today idle capacity to process at least half of that. So we have capacity to process the next 5-year growth in Chile, all in machine crack. So the investment is there. If needed in the coming years, I'm sure it will come, because something that the Chilean investors are willing to, when they see a good project, they're willing to invest on those projects. And I see that processing in Chile has a tremendous advantage. We have built a state-of-the-art industry. As many buyers has visited us, has stated, it's not only our appreciation, that the processing plants in Chile are really a brand new and state-of-the-art product, all certified in terms of quality assurance. So most important that the equipment, we have also gone through the learning curve. Machine processing machine cracking is not easy. And electronic sorters are not easy to handle. They are easy to buy. If you have the money, you can buy it. But learning how to process, learning how to electronic sorters work and optimize the product is a learning curve that industry has gone. We have been more than 5 years going through that. And I can say that most of Chilean high quality companies has gone very successful through that learning curve and today has reached a product that is highly appreciated by the market and are willing to continue supplying that product for the market. So I'm quite confident that we have the capacity, and if needed in the coming years, there will be capacity to handle that high demand that we're expecting for machine crack product.
Good to hear that, because as we see, probably we see some charts in the, we just saw the chart in fact. The increase on the volumes could be quite, you just said before, at least 200,000 tons we will reach in the coming years. So having the capacity is a guarantee to handle the volume. We expect, in fact, that all the suppliers will manage. Do you think, David, also will be the case in other industry? Are they enough capacity to take their growth?
No, I mean, what is happening in the walnut industry, it's very special because as Karl said, we have invested a lot on our processing capacity, but also don't forget how much we have invested on our harvesting capacity and drying capacity. So our growers have made a big effort in terms of invest in the high-end technology in order to ensure a good quality product from the whole value chain. If you see what is happening today on the cherry industry, they are facing a very big crop of maybe 60 million boxes, but the industry is not ready to process that volume in a short period of time of the harvest, the cherry harvest. So I'm very proud what we have done in terms to be prepared in advance to what is coming. And as Karl said, this is not just about how much money you put into this game, is also how you handle these assets. Machine cracking is full of details. So which is the percentage of harvest that you will get, which is the appearance of the kernels that you will get, which is the tolerance of foreign materials that you will allow on your boxes. So it's full of detail. It's not just about money, it's about how you handle them.
Yes, and especially in the market, it is more and more demand on those aspects that you said, on foreign materials, on quality is of course a key factor that all the industry has been investing so much time and effort, because we just discussed that money is not the issue on this aspect.
Right.
Yeah, and Chile is exporting to the very strict country, and we are going in a good way with our capacity and with all the safety required from our buyers normally.
David, Chile has several free trade agreements. Do you see on that an advantage that the market put value on that?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Chile, since late 1990s, has been working on establish these free trade agreements, and today Chile has 29 free trade agreements in place with 64 countries, and so we have preferential access to 64% of the world population and to 88% to the global GDP. So it's a huge advantage. Of course, our customers value it, especially those from today walnut buyers from Europe and China. They are enjoying of this huge advantage in comparison with other suppliers or the other origins. But we're still working on this. For us, is a competitive advantage as a country. So the next step is try to to add the walnuts into the new extension of the trade agreement that we are discussing with India. So if this happens, we'll have will be an unparalleled advantage for the Indian importers. So, but this has to be a committed, a joint effort between India importers and Chilean exporters. But this is the most important milestone that we have in front of us. And second in line, I should say that Japan should be our next target, because what Karl said, the quality of Chilean kernels has increased dramatically during the last 4 or 5 years. So we have all the chances to be a really good player and a good competitor on the Japanese market. Today, many of the Chilean companies are ready to fulfill the Japanese requirements in terms of quality. I mean, we are ready for that market, and because the timing, because the freshness, because the color, and because the appearance and the quality of our product, I have no doubt that Japan should be our next target, and we're working on that.
Yes, coming back from what you said about India, we were discussing as an association, as Chilenut, with the Chilean authorities about that. And when you look at the figures, it's a win-win situation if they decrease the duties. Okay, the local production is very small, 35,000 metric tons for a population of 1.3 billion, which is as much as China, which is producing 1,000 million tons. This is a lot of. So you look in terms of consumption per person is a lot more. So there's an aspect that we have to consider that on that agreement that will also help. The first one is a lot of labor. Indian importers are taking mainly, we discuss, in-shell walnuts. There is a lot of labor cracking over there, especially in urban areas like in Mumbai and Delhi. Okay, and of course we saw in the past when the duties were lower. Okay, the jump on imports were huge. So probably even in terms of total taxes that the government received, probably will be higher than today. And we really hope that will come in the coming months. We understand that the first month of the coming year will be the new round of negotiations. Is something that we're really waiting for. Unfortunately, with the COVID situation, it was postponed. So, let's see. And I don't know, Japan is something that really will come. I agree with you.
But we cannot only rely on this great trade agreement we have. Just take as an example what happened in Korea. When we had 20 points advantage against the United States, we have a huge market in Korea. But the United States renegotiated that agreement with Korea, South Korea I'm talking obviously. They started reducing the duty, and in a couple of years, they were the same level as we were. And what happened? We were out of the market. So we cannot only rely on the agreement. We have to, when we have those opportunities, we have to work on the consumer to really have loyalty and demand for our Chilean product. So we cannot only rely on trade agreement. We have to complement that with biggest and better marketing effort for our product.
Definitely. Karl, coming back to you. We have seen a strong increase in volumes from Chile in some markets, such as Germany and Spain. I think we'll see some figures shortly. What do you think this is due to?
Well, obviously the demand for walnut globally from all origin has had a great growth in the last years. Consumer per capita has grown from 0.08 kilos per capita per year to 0.12. So that's a 50% increase in the last decade. That has given the industry a rate growth of over 7% per year on accumulated term. So Chile has not been independent of that growth. But not only that, Chile has increased its market share in most of the countries. Just take as an example Germany, for example. We can see the figures that we'll put in the screen shortly. In the last 5 years, Chile has grown by 3 times the export to Germany. It's a significant growth. I'm talking about mainly machine crack product going to Germany. Whereas California, during the same period, has grown by 1.5 times. So we have grown twice as much as California in Germany. If you see the same figures in Spain, probably you will see the same pattern. And in Italy and in France. So once the market start getting used to rely on Chilean supply, they have moved significant volume to our country. So we are not only growing against California, which always dangerous in a marketing perspective, but we're also growing mainly because of the market is growing. So if we take most of the market growth, then it's great for all of us. And we have played a great role on that matter. And that has happened not only because of the walnut industry itself, it's because Chile is a global food supplier. You see salmon, you see wines, you see fresh fruit. So Chile is considered globally as a reliable and serious food supplier. And we cannot be out of that game. So we have become, as a walnut supplier, a key supplier in walnut because of what we have already talked here, the season, the counter season, the quality of our product, and also the quality assurance that we have in our factories. So putting all together, we have become, and we are working on that, to be a reliable supplier for that food industry world globally. And as that happens, we will not only grow as the market grows, but we also grow globally in all markets, existing market and new market. So what we can say is to all buyers and consumers globally, get on board before it's too late.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Is a trend we've been seeing on the last years, this increase on Chilean, of course, because Chilean probably is growing faster proportionally than other origins. And so, Benjamin, what markets do you think they will grow for Chile in the coming years? Let's put a crystal ball, okay?
Well, for answer this question, we need to divide in between initial product and kernel product, of course. If we talk about the initial, the main market that we can grow is India. We just talk about India. India has a huge population, and of course we have in a right time for arrive with our walnut. They have a festival, the Diwali festival that is in October, and of course it's a perfect date for us, because if they want to buy from the northern hemisphere, they buy normally all walnut, and if they buy from Chile, they can buy very fresh walnut. Therefore, India is one of the target, our main target. For increase our volume, and they have enough capacity. They love the nuts and dry fruits. That's why it's very important. If you look at the market in the past, it was Morocco. Morocco today, it's in the level. Probably we cannot grow more in this market, but we have a good volume in that market. And the other important market for initial product, as David mentioned, is Europe. Europe increased from last year to this year in 9%. That's why we need to the market know that they can work in a better way if they buy before the walnut initial for the Christmas time instead to wait for the crop in California. That's why it's important as well. And if we talk in kernel, as Karl mentioned, Europe and especially Germany is one of the main country for Chile. We increase our sales in a big gap from 2017 till today. That's why today we have the product for offer. In the past, we used to sell only hand-cracked product, but today our industry is absolutely in a good way to or prepared for serve this market as well. And we have Israel is another important country that is growing, and they are recognize our quality. Last year we sold 600,000 tons, and this year was difficult or different because the COVID situation. But it's important country that we must to see about, and the other market that they are very important. We talk about Japan and Korea. Japan import from California 16,000 tons per year in kernel base, and Korea 12,000 tons in kernel base. Of course, those markets, we have a very good opportunity. We need to go step by step. We cannot lose our opportunity as happened with Korea. We had the opportunity to increase in the market, in that market, not only with a tariff. We need to make marketing. We need to go with a program, with a fresh program. We need to push and show to the buyers the important to have a good product in a good time.
Perfect. Thank you, Benjamin. David, do you see any changes on the type of shelled walnuts, mechanical shelled walnuts that will be sold in the future, compared to what been up to now?
Yeah, absolutely. In my opinion, if we want to increase walnut consumption worldwide, the way to do it is if we start promoting a walnut as a healthy snack. So if we want to approach that target market, the healthy snacks, we need to change the way we process our walnuts. We should be able to get a higher percentage of halves to ensure a better external appearance of kernels. And of course, freshness and food safety will be a must. Why I'm saying that? I mean, this is a very particular vision, but if you consider any other nut industry, you will see that always the whole kernels goes to the snacking, and the brokens and pieces go to the ingredients. What we are doing? We're very, very smart people. We are promoting LHP 50s or LHP 40s. We are mixing halves and pieces. Why? Because this is the mix that we naturally get from our machine cracks. But we haven't asked to the consumers what they want. I'm fully sure that people want halves for snack and pieces and quarters for ingredients. So we do that separation, we should see an increase on the walnut consumption. But this is easier to say it than do it because it requires a lot of effort from the processing point of view. As I said before, the machine cracking is full of details. But if you do it right, we should try to aim to that target, to offer to our consumers a better product in terms of taste, appearance, freshness, and percentage of half. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but it's a mistake to be offering this mix of half and pieces because consumers, they don't know what to do. This is for salad or this is a snack. And again, I mean, if you see any other nut industry, they clearly separate these two types of product to two different markets, and they have been able to increase the total consumption.
Thank you, David. We just received a question from the audience, and you can generally answer it. What is the reason that China is increasing the demand from Chilean walnuts if they are increasing their exports?
Well, the first point is because we are in a counter season. If they want to buy fresh product, they can look Chile product. That's why we increased from 2017 about 2,000 ton till today 5,000 ton. And I suppose this is one of the first reason. And the second one is we have some tariff advantage in compared with California. And if they want to buy fresh product, they can look Chile with zero taxes and other things. We can enter directly to China. We cannot go under the yes, under
the Great Channel.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
that is a very important point, because in the past there was a lot of smuggling in China.
Yeah.
So those companies with good reputation, it was unfair for them. They couldn't compete against the smugglers. So today, because this reduction or zero duty from Chile, this well-recognized company has the chance to compete in a fairly way. So that is also one of the reasons why China is increasing the import from Chile.
Yes, well, we saw, as Benjamin said just before, we saw a big increase in terms of percentage in the coming years. Probably as a general volume, is still not a big volume. Okay, China in the past used to import over 100,000 metric tons 1 year. I guess it was on 2012 or 13. But well, it is a surprise. It's well, not a surprise. People that working in that market are not surprised. They have been doing a great job on that, and we expect also that it will continue in the coming years. Is a really challenging market.
I think that China understood that Chile is not a competitor; it's a complement, and this is a very important mindset.
Yeah. Exactly. We have another question over here. Is you guys, how do you see the issue on the draw? We face the Chilean complicated 2019 year. What do you think the water availability for 2021 crop?
The drought has had a significant impact on the production of last season, not only on volume but also on sizes and yields. So that was a significant impact for our industry. Luckily for us, we have had a better rainy season, and the reservoir and most of it are at a much better level. They are not filled up as we would like, but they have a reservoir enough. But most important, we have our natural reservoir, which are the Andes Mountain. The Andes Mountain has today a significant accumulation of snow that guarantee us that at least for next season we should have water enough for a good irrigation of our orchards. That doesn't mean that we have solved the problem for the long term. The climate change is here to stay, and we have to be more efficiency in terms of use of our water, and the farmers are working on that, are taking this seriously. So I'm quite confident that with the support of the farmers and good irrigation program, we should be able in the coming years to be able to cope with the demand of water. But at least for the short term, I'm quite confident that we should have a decent season.
Excellent.
And so far, the fruit set looks normal. If you visit the orchards, it looks like we will have a normal crop. Of course, it should be bigger than last year because new hectares are getting in bearing this year. But in terms of fruit set per hectare, I have seen a very, very good fruit set. Not tremendous, but normal. And normal means better size. So I'm very confident that we should have a very, very good quality season.
But the trees that suffered last year, this year they are not in a good they are not good enough. I heard that.
But that is only on the Maipo Valley. Yeah. It's mainly on the Maipo Valley. This is part of the Chile.
Maipo Valley and the north area.
And the north area. Yeah. But all the orchards located on the south of Chile looks very, very nice. Yeah. And these are most of the growth will come from the south. So in total.
But also the south, we have seen the last weeks, specifically some abortion problem in the south, which have not been really identified the reason why it's happening, but probably we will see some reduction on the outcome of the south of Chile. So overall, I think we have to look in the next season.
It's too early.
It's too early to say.
You're right.
But it will not be a record season. Probably, my view will be we will go back to 2 years ago. So
yes, we have to think that let's say new orchards coming into production increase every year between 12 and 15,000 tons. So basically, this volume is coming. The new orchard is less affected by the matter of waters and stress. It's the old one that is more affected. So yes, we have to follow these ones to see, okay, if we go up as much as predicted, which is 164,000 tons, or is less. Karl is thinking probably a volume close to last season, so it means 140, 150?
Slightly over 140, between 140 and 150.
Okay, yes, it's still a good number. We have another question here. Is Chile able to maintain the price gap between what is selling, California is selling and Chile is selling for season 2021?
Tough question.
Tough one, yeah.
Who wants to pick it up?
This, in my opinion, this year probably not. This season probably not, because market has enough volume for offer, and in my point of view, is it could be difficult. Of course, in a hand crack always, but in a machine crack, if we don't do it as David said, in terms of if we produce more halves instead of pieces, probably we can get more different prices. But if we talk about the same product, in my opinion, probably not.
Okay, guys, we have 1 minute until the end, and we receive one last question that probably will answer myself. Is what actions does Chile plans to take to promote its production? Okay, we'll start. Well, as several of you guys have been saying, we have to invest on promotion and marketing. As an industry, we have an ambitious plan for next season on marketing in Europe and in Asia. We have Germany as a market is a big growth on Germany. It is growing well. It's impressive how Germany has been growing as a market with a country which is let's say not a flat growth in terms of population. And the second one will be India. Okay, India, as we discussed, is a huge potential over there. Okay, and we expect to promote our production on these markets, and then, well, from that point we will continue to other ones. We discussed about Japan, Korea, and other several markets that has to be targeted in the future. But well, baby steps. And I think we have like 30 seconds. Okay, so guys, I would like to thank you for being with us today, Karl, David, Benjamin, and thank you for our friends who will be with us in this panel. Have a nice day.